exciting announcement. Here we are.
I don't know if it's like the most exciting news I've ever heard.
It is. It's super exciting.
Okay,
news.
let's go.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit and give you a little bit of background on who the hell Scott and I are, because maybe you've just stumbled upon this video and you have no idea who we are or the nonsense that we speak. So I'm gonna give you a quick little background. So Scott and I met at a Dr. Joe Dispenza retreat, I don't know, almost 6 years ago,
73 years ago.
Feels like 73 years, 73 lifetimes at least. And our worlds collided and old worlds died, let's say,
Yes.
and our new world was birthed.
Yes.
And our new world was us together. And you can listen to previous episodes that we've done that talk about more in depth our journey, and you'll hear that throughout the years if you follow us more. But for purposes of this video, I'm just gonna give you a quick recap. So we met at Dr. Joe, our worlds collided, we created a life together, and we kept going to these Dr. Joe Dispenza retreats because they were helping us change our lives ultimately. But what we noticed quickly after going to quite a few, especially as him and I formed our life together, is that people would go to these retreats, and not just Dr. Joe retreats, but many spiritual retreats, or they go do ayahuasca, or they'd listen to Abraham Hicks, or they'd read Eckhart Tolle books, or they would watch Gaia. And they would have all this spiritual awakenings and knowledge, and even, have crazy things happen in their meditations or whatever, but they weren't actually changing their life. So it was like they were using these as sort of a form to escape in a way. I know that was for me pretty true in the beginning. Not the only reason why I kept going, but a big reason. And they weren't actually like changing their life. And here him and I were completely changing our lives, and not just completely changing our lives, completely changing who we were as people. So you have a grin on your face. Like, is this funny?
I'm kind of counting down to see how long you just keep going until you ask me something to where I could speak, because I am not quiet. Just know that first of all. If you don't know me, I am not quiet. So I'm just kind of grinning at this.
This will be interesting. So
it's fantastic.
We noticed this, him and I and our very best friend Simon, and so we created what we called the Freedom Project at the time. And it was really sort of to help people integrate. We used all three different modalities. We each had, Scott worked on mindset.
And we wanted to know, I'm just going to break in.
Yeah.
We wanted to know, why were we able to make the changes in our life? Because listen, it wasn't easy. I mean, we had to say no to things. We wanted more of the life that we were moving into than the life that we lived before. I for myself, I felt a sense of freedom, love, strength, courageousness, connection, all of that. And I wanted to move further into that, same, with the M and Psi. So I think what we wanted to find out was, why were we able to do what other people weren't? And maybe we can help them integrate the work to understand it as we saw it. Because we saw it, hey, wait a minute, we're really kind of choosing the life here. We are creating our reality. Like, things are happening for us. And that's when we became very passionate in helping other people, and even in conversations, just talking to people. That's why we love to go to so many retreats, because we love to have the conversation of the community to say, hey, what has happened with you? Have you had things show up for you? Are you creating your reality?
Yeah. And that ultimately became the foundation of what we taught, which was it's all inside you, and how to use these tools just basically to actually live that in your everyday life. So not just as some fun thing to say like, oh, I'm going to manifest a car, or yeah, I believe I create my reality. But then, something shitty happens, and then all of a sudden you're not the creator, you're your reality. Yeah, you're the victim. So ultimately it was us living those concepts, and that became the foundation. And as we grew, we learned more about people, we learned more about what was helping us, what was helping them. But then a few years into it, we decided that we were each gonna branch off sort of on our own and work with people that we were really passionate about working with, and use our own individual hero stories in helping those people. So we all three sort of branched off. And that was about a year, almost 2 years ago. And we started programs that we were working with individuals. And so I created the Authentic Life Blueprint. He created the Healing Blueprint. And so we were doing those things on our own for the last year and a half. Fast forward to today, we have realized that really what we are both teaching isn't just for me, I was just working with women. For him, it was a lot of focus on physical healing. And what we realized was that we really wanted to come back to the core value of spiritual integration. That's what we both realized. And that we were really good at doing that together, because everything that we talk about is about balance, is about bringing things into balance. And so the core understanding of Authentic Life Blueprint was the roots and the branches, and the people get so stuck up in the branches, and then they can't ground down into the roots. And that's why ultimately they weren't making changes in their life, because they weren't grounding into their body. But they weren't also understanding that the mindset of it's all inside you, which is because of Scott experiences.
I think, what does this all mean for you? So basically, what she's been saying is, it's always been about the body for her. It's always been about the mind for me, because for me, it is your reality is perception, your perception. My reality of this situation is my perception of it. Her reality is the same way. It's her perception. So what if we both have two different perceptions, right? So when you take that and you understand, then it's you who is doing the seeing. You who is creating the reality, because you are perceiving it in this way.
Which is the masculine, by the way.
That is
masculine is mind.
And then when you have the body, when you start to change these perceptions, we have a default perception that we were raised with. And they kind of get stuck. It constantly brings us and shakes us back to the default, right? It's kind of like a switch on a railroad track. You can switch the switch and you could take a different perspective, right? That's my new word, perspection. It's not a word, it's my word. But then when you're done with that perception, you can flip it back. You're not flipping it back, the default self, it automatically goes back. That's what we saw people were having trouble with, is constantly having to switch the switch, and then finally it would just keep going back, and then they would give up because they felt like this is a lot of work, which it can be that. With her, with the body, when you have that experience, you take energy and you put it into your body, and that energy starts to get toxic. And what we need to do is express that old energy. So meditation is for the mind. Breath work is for the body. Why is breath work for the body? Because it helps relieve that old toxicity. It brings energy into your body. Meditation brings energy into your mind. It quiets the mind, so energy then can start to get a new perspective of what we choose to see, what we want to see, instead of what we defaultly see. Yes?
Defaultly see, yes.
So you've learned two words in this whole, how many? 10 minutes, and you've learned, well, I already forgot the first one, perspective?
Yes, something like
whatever, and that. So, and there'll probably be 3 more by the time this is over.
Yeah.
So now, what does all that mean to these
What does all that mean?
Lovely people?
It means we are officially joining forces.
We're joining hands, honey.
We truly
hands.
believe hands, honey. That's so cheesy.
It's like this isn't a beautiful
he
background.
Hates this
we have ropes hanging down behind
it's
us.
okay. It's okay. The message is the most important thing. The environment, the scenery will get better for sure. But what that means is we both believe in the importance of bringing everything into balance. The masculine, the feminine, the mind, and the body. And that's what true spiritual integration is, so that your everyday life changes and that you're just not going to retreats or doing the ayahuasca or doing whatever, thinking that your life, hoping that your life is going to change. We're actually going to show you how to do that every single freaking day. So, freaking day. So we will be doing the course together. Authentic Life Blueprint will be
men and women, not just women. I will still be doing my side work with the Awakening Your Sexual Energy immersions for only women in the Sacred Sisters retreats. That will still continue in a very small container for women. So I still am holding that space that women want, for just women that just want to learn how to embrace their feminine side more. But the big bulk of our work will be together in this revised version of Authentic Life Blueprint, that it will, like I said, men and women,
bringing in both the mind and the body. You're going to have two of us. You have two coaches, which is even more impactful. And we're really excited to do this next phase together. So there's your big announcement. Also, don't forget, number 2 part of the announcement. Because of this, it's sort of a relaunch for the month of April. The month of April signifies rebirth, right? That's what the new spring beginnings, rebirth. And so that's sort of what we're doing in this next phase of our own personal journeys and in our work and our business. And so for the month of April, as we prepare to launch this starting May 3rd is when we will officially join it together. It will be one course both of us lead. So the process is, if you're like, M and Scott and M, I need this in my life. I've gone to all the retreats. I've listened to a million Abrahams. I could spew this spiritual wisdom to you left, right, and center, but my relationship sucks. Or I'm in a job that I hate. Or my relationships with my kids are horrible. Or I have no confidence in the world. I need your help because I've been trying to do this on my own and I can't. It's really frustrating. Then you go to the website, mhollis.com, and you fill out an application under the Authentic Life Blueprint page. If you just click on what we do, you'll go to Authentic Life Blueprint. It'll explain a little bit more in depth what the program entails, and then you will submit an application. We go over your application. If it's approved, then the next phase is setting up a call to see if it's really a good fit, because we don't just take anybody, because the program isn't just for anybody, it's for a specific person. So if you want to know more and you want to find out if this is going to be a good fit for you, fill out an application and then one of us will get on the phone with you.
So I'd like to add a little bit something to that.
Add a little something, honey.
So
see, 2 of us, you get to add lots of little somethings.
Yeah, and a lot of experience, business experience, relationship experience. I think one of the most important things, if you listen to anybody that is a speaker or a person that has, done very well for themselves financially, relationship-wise, health-wise, is you have to invest in yourself. People are so spending money on all different things, and what they don't is the thing that is truly going to make them happy, give them that inner happiness, and that is investing in yourself. So if I could give you any advice, honest to God, I think what we do is absolutely phenomenal. We've had a lot of results. A lot of people have come through our programs. Their lives have absolutely changed, and that's because they did the work.
This is long enough. If you want more information, fill out the application and we will be talking to you soon. This channel is going to be full of videos from me, videos from him, videos of us together, tons of really valuable content to help you in your own spiritual integration journey. So until next time, we'll see you guys later.